Hey YouTube, coming at you with the Little Cup team, and I kind of tried to do some core breakers. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work as well. Some of them were my fault with movesets here. So Diggersby is the obvious one. I mentioned if you watch my video on we have a stat pack problem, I basically said use Diggersby and use Shadow Barboche just to core break Shuckle and Bronzer. And so I don't know if I have Barboche. I didn't actually check. But I had Diggersby already built, so I'm like, yeah, let's just use it. And then I just kind of looking down the list, I'm like, okay, what can potentially like do well against the Bronzer and stuff like that? And then I'm like, okay, well, Drapion has Crunch and Octail, and it's spammy, and I know it works well in the Great League, so let me test it in the Little Cup. And then I had seen Purloin everywhere, so I was like, okay, what can beat Purloin? Dark, Fairy, but Fairy would have problems with like Steel. And then I'm like, Dewpider, because Dewpider has Bug Bite, which is super effective against Dark, and Bronzer is half Psychic, so that would be neutral Bug Bites there. So that's why I tried that out. Why am I using Mirror Coat? For some reason, Pastian is an idiot. I had Mirror Coat and Bubble Beam on, and I didn't even just like look at the moveset or decide to change it. Mirror Coat's a pathetic move, and it has Water Pulse. Even a resisted Water Pulse does more than a Mirror Coat, and it's the same energy. So don't use Mirror Coat, use Water Pulse if you're going to use Dewpider. I don't know why I had it on the past. Anyways, good lead. Super effective with the mud shots. They are mud slapping me. I get up to the Scorching Sands. Everything is super glassy, so I feel more confident baiting here. I'm going to let it go because, okay. Or I'm not. I thought I let it go because Drapion and Dewpider are going to be... I mean, Dewpider is actually kind of bulky. Drapion's very glassy. I do grab a second shield there. At this point, please let this go me. Okay, good job. And that does take me out. So now I'm going to come... Yeah, Dewpider because I resist the mud shots and Bug Bite is neutral. Shuckle comes in. Okay, so I'm just going to throw the Bubble Beam to lower their attack and then obviously get out because they're doing super effective because I'm half bug. So I lower their attack. Now I come in Drapion. And let's spam some Aqua Tails here. And this is why Aqua Tail this is probably why I put it in Aqua Tail for Shuckle and Crunch for Bronzer. And hello, Bronzer, who is running Confusion, which helps me out because that is actually single resisted compared to Tackle, which would be neutral. And Shadow Drapion coming clutch with the over 50% damage on these crunches. So 2 will take out a Bronzer. That is actually huge. I am probably going to shield to try and get off an Aqua Tail. Yeah. First, I'm coming in here to Bubble Beam. As you can see, these Bug Bites are actually adding up quite nicely. Bug Bite is actually a decent fast move in terms of damage. And now lowering their attack, which was already a garbage attack to begin with, should help. Stone Edge, super effective move, can't even one shot because it is such bad attack product. And now I get the second Bubble Beam off to lower the attack for the second time. And now if I can just get the Aqua Tail, but I just lowered their attack times 2 and it's a Shuckle. So if it's a Rock Blast, which it is, I live a Rock Blast, get off an Aqua Tail, enough to take out here. Holy smokes. Yeah, take out a Shuckle and a Bronzer core there. So obviously a decent lead. I say decent just because Vulpix is actually quite spammy in this meta. So already at a Body Slam. And now I will bait a move. Again, it's pretty glassy and they probably have some energy left, so they're probably going to shield. The Little Cup goes against like everything that I normally say about never bait, grab shields, or do this. But like the Little Cup, everything is so glassy and so spammy that you need to play differently if you're going to play this cup, which based on the views, not many of you are playing this cup. It's very rare for an Ultra League video to do 2.5 times the views that the other video does. So my Ultra League video did 2.5 times the views of my Little Cup team. So not a lot of people are playing this, not a lot of people are watching it, which is unfortunate. But that's just where we're at with this. So we will just put out maybe a couple more teams in Little Cup. I saw a submission in Ultra League. I'm going to focus on Ultra League myself and then showcase Ultra League submission. So if you have some Ultra Leagues, send them my way. Another Confusion Bronzer. Tackle is the recommended moveset, so I'm surprised to see so many Confusion users. I'm not going to let them farm me down. Just going to get in here. And now we are going to try to out-spam here. Have to shield up a move. Is just a Psy Shock, which is unfortunate because that's a pretty quick move relative to their other ones. I do get that off. Can I get to an Aqua Tail first? I can. And this is why I like Drapion, especially in this meta, that you can hit super effective against these top Pokemon here. This thing is spammy. Quagsire, that is a bad lead. So where am I going here? Ooh, Drapion's also going to get killed. So I go straight into Dewpider. I get hit with a Bronzer. This is where Water Pulse would be way better instead of just lowering their attack with Bubble Beam. If I actually hit for like a really hard hitting Water Pulse, I probably have a better chance here, but I do not have it on this Pokemon. So I'm trying to shield because I think what I'm going to try and do is burn the Swish Clock, get out into something, force the Quagsire back in, and then try and take it out with Dupe. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. You can see me trying to get it. Again, I know I'm going to get killed here, but I don't care. I just got to try and get a Scorching Standoff to 1, grab a shield, or take it out, and 2, just get the Dewpider back on, which resists the ground type moves. So that's what we're doing. I do grab a shield, which is almost unfortunate. I would rather just take it out, but we'll see how much Dewpider can take out here. Okay, so the Mud Shots are resisted. Aqua Tail and Mud Bomb would also be resisted. It is a Shadow Quagsire, and this is the Little Cup, so does still take me down to the red. But I'm loaded with energy, but not any more important. And then what is in the back? A Shuckle again. Oh, a lot of people have freaking Shuckles, eh? Okay. Aqua Tail, super effective, does almost nothing. So that is unfortunate. These are super effective Aqua Tails. Cannot even take it to 50% after 2. This is why people are not playing this league. This is why this meta sucks. If I were to run another Little Cup team, which I'm not going to because you guys are not watching, so I'm not wasting my time. Yeah, I would just go Diggersby and Shadow Barbo and then choose a third on the lead. Purloin, if you want to just try and beat the top Pokemon, or choose another, whatever. So they pay back me, that's enough to take me out, and then I'm so low here. I don't know why I'm wasting everyone's time. And I'll be taken out here. Okay. So Vulpix, again, another good lead, but again, good, not amazing because of how this meta is set up. I think there was one time where people actually really liked Little Cup. And it was I think Bronzer was always a thing in Little Cup. But XLs weren't a thing. Yeah, okay, that's what happened. So, everyone loved Little Cup way back in the day because it is one of the fastest leagues you'll ever play. And 2, back in the day, it was basically 0. There was like pre-XLs. So there was no XL Pokemon. And so it was very, very cheap to build Pokemon for. Because even your most bulky Pokemon were not XL'd, right? So you can very easily build all these Pokemon. So between the fast games and the quick builds and the less dust and candy intensive builds, a lot of people played Little Cup. And it just seems like once XL came in and once Bronzer and Shuckle just were allowed into these cups and everyone started dominating, and people are just like, I don't care about this anymore, and stop playing it, which is unfortunate because it does have the potential just to like it. If there weren't such Pokemon that dominated based on their stat product, you could have a crazy amount of Pokemon be viable. In fact, back in the day, we were talking about like Barboach and Wooper and Vulpix. There was a lot of these like first evolution Pokemon that were quite strong on teams that you're just like not seeing as much anymore because it's just a limited meta, right? So kind of unfortunate from that perspective. Hopefully I can get to an Aqua Tail here before they get a second Night Slash off. And they catch on a Cottony, which is smart because I do not have a move for Cottony here. I do have Poison Sting, but so that chipped more than I thought, but I guess I am. Oh, I remember this. I come in here thinking I can get a Fire Punch off, and I don't, and they just get a bunch of farm. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. That's unfortunate. Yeah. So and now I have to shield because a Grass Knot or C-Bomb is still neutral. And the charms are adding up, so I had to shield, and then it just... Yeah, that those extra 4 charms on the Diggersby was not ideal. And it's a Bronzor in the back. So there we go. That's a top left. Bronzor. So, what's new with you guys as we play out this last Little Cup team? Yeah, this will be my last Little Cup team. This will be my third one. 1 subscriber and then 1 yesterday with Pika Libre and then this one today. This will be my last one. I'll focus on Ultra League and the other events and stuff for the remainder of the week. Yeah. I've already started to like... I think it's a mixture of like the leagues that are on plus the gameplay. I played... And this is okay. I don't need to push here. But... the first 4 days I played every single match, and then the lag and frame drops and everything started, so I dropped to like only a couple times, and now those are still existing, but Ultra League is on, so I wanted to test some Ultra League Pokemon, so I played like a few sets, but this cup is also garbage, so I'm not playing this much anymore, and if I don't have the Ultra League Pokemon to test, then I'm not playing. So I'm playing like maybe 1 to 2 sets a day here. That's it right now. So I still don't have my... Again, if this was old Dan, I'd have my rating by now because I'd be playing 5 sets a day every single day. We're not at that point anymore. We're not going to force it. We'll still try and hit legend, but we're not going to force battles. That's why I like viewer submissions, and that's why I saw a ton of them. I just went to, actually tonight because I was like, I want to hopefully someone submitted an Ultra League team, and I saw the one. I guess that went out this morning. The glaring wheezing one. So I was like, yeah, let's do this one. So that was on this morning, and then there's also like 17 other submissions. Now a lot of them are just like early Great League ones, which I'll loop back when it comes back in like 2 more weeks or whatever it comes back. Then I'll start going back to yours early on and maybe try and do some like try hard teams on my own end, so that way we can get some good Ultra League teams. Oh my god, next week is Match League and Psychic Cup. Oh my goodness. I think someone said that PV Poke already has Psychic Cup out. I remember reading that. Maybe we'll just go do the comments while we play out this crap league. Yeah, Psychic Cup. So I'm guessing Malamar's number 1. Malamar's 5. Malamar as a dark Pokemon in a Psychic meta is 5 despite having foul play. Okay, Galarian Rapidash number 1. Galarian Rapidash was always top. Fairy Wind got boosted. Makes sense. Galarian Rapidash was always top. Victini was always top because of the V-Create, Overheat were just nukes. Now, interesting. 2 new risers up here. Slowbro, Galarian, because it has access to Brutal Swing, which got buffed. And Claydol, because it has Mud Slap. So that got buffed. And then you go down to Bruxish, and Gardevoir, which are always there. Hoopa, because Astonish got buffed. Bronzong was always kind of there. And then you're getting into like really bad Pokemon. I don't even know what this Pokemon is. Behem? Is that one of the... It's a Psychic B? I don't know. Is it? I'm guessing it's a B. And then you get into Elgim and how do you spell this? It's either Chimecho or I'm gonna say Chimecho, but I don't know if that's right. Anyways, you're getting some weird stuff down there. Anyways, there's gonna be like 7 Pokemon used here. Yeah, first 8, I would say yes. Yeah, first 9. First 9. You don't even need to worry about anything else. First 9 is all you need to use in the Psychic Cup, and it's on with Master League. So that's a great for the channel. Crap. That's 2 weeks of just bad leagues in a row. After so much hype, the views and the subscribers just died. That's unfortunate. Let's look at some of your comments because there's not too much to play out. Someone for the Little Cup, Ben Baller, said Vulpix, Drifloon, and Shadow Stunky. If you see a Shuckle, you're going to lose, but you'll abuse Bronzor and Wobbuffet. I already kind of mentioned the Clefable in my video this morning, so if you want to know my thoughts on the Clefable, go check that video out. Curious to know your thoughts on Florga's recommend moveset is all fairy moves, but it does have access to Psychic and Petal Blizzard for potential coverage. No, you don't need coverage. No, if you're going to use Florga's, you just use the double stab move. Yeah, actually, you say that. Assuming the stab is the reasoning for all the fairy attacks, but I'm not seeing a lot of tentacles and would hate having I wouldn't hate having Psychic in the bag. No, you run the double Psychic because they're both stab and they're both good moves, and then you cover your poison and other weaknesses, steel weakness in the back with other Pokemon. If you're gonna run Florgas, you do not run it with Psychic or Petal Blizzard. It was the same thing. So this concept was tried in the Master Premier League with Metagross, and basically you would save swap Metagross back in the day and try to draw out Gyarados, which was always a tough answer for you. And some people tried to run Psychic with it. But what ended up happening is that a resisted Meteor Mash did very similar to a non-stab Psychic, because Meteor Mash is such a hard-hitting move, plus you get the same type of attack bonus, whereas Psychic you do not get the same type of attack bonus. So people thought oh, this is so smart, this is creative, and then in the long run it's no, actually this does not do much at all. So when it comes to Pokemon like that, if you're going to use a non-stab move on these Pokemon, it's got to be because you have to use that move. So think of these body slams, or Swift, body slam on Gastrodon as a spammy move, Swift on Clefable. I don't love either of those moves, and I've talked about the weaknesses, but as a 35 energy move, it makes sense to actually use those non-stab moves on these Pokemon. It doesn't make sense to use a Psychic, which is probably a 60-ish plus energy move, non-stab, when you have a better stab fairy move. So yeah, someone's saying they did one set in this cup last week. 5 out of 5 battles had Bronzor, 4 out of 5 had Shuckle, and the other one that didn't have Shuckle had Why Not and Cottonee. Yeah, so it's just there's no point of using it. Someone said Shuckle, no problem, just run a Pharaoh Seat with Metal Claw. And then people are responding, yeah, but what about the rest of the Pokemon? And that's the problem. If you try to just go one Pokemon to counter one, it could fall against the rest of the meta, which is why I use Diggersby on this team, because I think Diggersby is nice for both and can kind of handle Purloin and everything else too. Some other people went Mandibuzz. I see that the matches are done. Shadow Barboach is the true core breaker. I agree. Little Cup sucks. I agree. And then a lot of people talking about. So I said it's an Android problem, and a lot of people said it's not just you, and it's not just an Android problem. A lot of people are having the issues with other phones as well. So unfortunately, it looks like it's a game issue as opposed to just my phone issue. Yeah, someone even said recently Dunebugs and Axon got screwed. Even streamers are getting on Twitch are getting these, so it's okay. Okay. That is the little cup. We're done with the little cup. I'll try and focus on the Ultra League, and then there's some events. I know, is the community day this weekend? I think I'll do the coverage anyways, even though it's not a good one. Yeah, it's Saturday too. Saturday afternoon. Okay, maybe I'll just throw it like a Saturday morning because no one watches videos on Saturday anyway. So I'll do it's the Ponytas, Galarian, and regular. Which, first of all, both shinies are out already. I may have both shinies. That being said, I'm not a shiny hunter. Everyone knows that. Both shinies are super cool. Both Ponytas shinies are really cool. So I love the blue fire and then the sparkly yellowish. I think both look really good. So that is that. In terms of a wild charge, I cannot imagine wild charge is going to change any of these Pokemon. But I'll do the analysis. But the analysis will say no. So don't hold your breath. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one.